and climbed up to the treehouse. Then I knew I'd find you here.
Rollo finally noticed the tears welling in his friend's eyes and the flowers on the grave.
Oh, yeah, right. You and your mom always did this on your dad's birthday. Yeah. I didn't know if you were gonna keep doing it now that your mom's gone, too. She's not gone! She's just... missing. Sorry, I meant to say since she went missing. She's gonna come back, Rollo. Of course she is. Okay, Dad. See you next time. I think I'm ready to get out of here. Sure, lead the way. Luca and Rollo, besties for life. Look at that. They explode. Oh, I got a tickle. What does that do? Can I...
Wonderful! I had a good feeling about you from the moment you opened my book.
The narrator is breaking the fourth wall. Oh no.
That charm is a very special thing. Very special indeed. Keep hold of it for now. Its purpose will reveal itself soon enough.
Okay, so we have charms and a backpack. Boo boo boo. Achoo. Boo 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 boo. Boo 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 boo. This is just fun. I'm just doing this for fun, but they do come back. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. The whole reason I was looking for you. I was wondering if you'd ever get to that. I found the perfect way to start our summer! How's that?
Rollo looked to the side suspiciously.
Not here. They might be watching. They who? Shh! Not so loud! We need to do this in a secure location. Hi, Count. Welcome in. Mission control. Yeah, it's really a cute touch. The sounds that the text makes. It's to give you an idea of what their voices would sound like. Except I don't do little boy voices, so I'm not very good at this, but we're trying. We're trying. All right, I just have to tell Gran, and then we can head out. What are you gonna tell her? I don't know. I'll think of something. If it's all the same to you, I'll meet you at the welcome sign. Your Gran still kind of wigs me out. I don't do well with new people. She moved in like half a year ago. Just maybe at the sign when you're done. Suit yourself. I won't be long. We have a quest to tell Gran before heading out with Rollo. Apparently that is also in our backpack. So now we have 2 screens. Whoops. Okay. Is there anything we can do in any of these things? Nope. Okay, into the
Dear
door
reader,
we go.
forgive me for this interlude. Remember that charm you found in the dandelion patch? There are more of those special charms to discover throughout Beacon Pines. They've been known to reveal themselves to those who are willing.
Whatever that means. It is kind of Animal Crossing-like, too. Yeah. I don't think Travis ever played Animal Crossing, so...
Some of them can be found in this very house.
Oh, we got charms to find, people. It's hide-and-seek time. Ooh, what's this?
Since Gran had moved in, the house was more peaceful, more orderly, and more covered in flowery fabric.
speak up. We got things.
One of his father's old stethoscopes.
Apparently his father was a doctor of some sort.
Luca had spent countless hours listening to anything and everything with it. Not for years, though.
Pretty comfy. Ah, we found the Ponder Charm. I used to do the same thing at his age. 12 is a great age.
Gran had already lit the fire. She kept a warm house, as if by grandmotherly obligation.
Can't check out the books. Would love to. Okay. What about this stuff? Nothing there. Ooh.
Just some dusty knickknacks.
Good to know. Good to know. Let's go upstairs for a moment. Nothing here.
Luca paused at his parents' bedroom door. He just wasn't ready to go in yet.
Hi, Winter Fairy. Welcome in. Welcome in. That would make for an interesting run of this game. I haven't finished this game on my own, so this isn't The Sims. No, I changed everything. Whatever did not get changed. It should say Beacon Pines everywhere that I had stuff. I did mention yesterday that we were done with The Sims for the time being. Primarily because it wasn't a very heavily modded game of The Sims, and I wasn't even doing any of the new Sims stuff. So, yeah, this is Beacon Pines. We're gonna have a story time, just like the old days, but I don't have to do all the talking. Anyway, this is Luca. He's a cutie. And he's living currently with his grandmother because his father died 6 years ago when he was 6, and his mother is currently missing.
Gran had commandeered the upstairs closet when she moved in. Some things need shelter from a young boy's mischief, she said.
We have the hide. The hide charm. So we have to tell Gran before heading out with Rolo, and we have found Tickle, Ponder, and Hide. Whatever they do. We're not entirely certain. Oops. Still getting used to the controls. They're different.
Luca tossed on his favorite old sweater. Even though it was the first day of summer, a chill still hung in the air.
We changed our clothes and got a charm. Awesome.
Gran's moving in meant that most of Luca's things had been crammed in the corner. Luca was somewhat annoyed by the situation.
Nothing at the desk.
Gran's bed was undisturbed. Luca didn't mind that she had a habit of falling asleep in front of the fireplace. It meant that he could read late into the night.
I really did enjoy what I played of this when I played it by myself count. And it just, I needed the right time to share it with everybody. Granted, I played it a while ago, so I don't remember everything that I did, but well, it is a story about choices. And you get to do all of them. So we've explored our room. All right, well, Gran's not upstairs, so she must be downstairs. Let's go into the kitchen. Hello? Well, we're not going to leave that on. We're not mean.
A pair of dull scissors, a broken can opener, a mostly empty bottle of glue, and some loose string.
Ah, the junk drawer. We got the junk from the junk drawer. You never know when any of that could be useful.
An array of prepared meals crowded the refrigerator, each labeled with a day of the week.
Do not leave the refrigerator door open at all costs. Somebody will be very mad. Anything over here? Nothing in this box? I mean, clearly cans of something, but nothing that we can do.
The only piece of furniture Gran had brought when she moved in was an old hutch.
Yep, you did, and I did play through that DLC, by the way. I do love Little Infernal. It's a fun little game. It's so good. For those of you who have not played Little Inferno, I highly recommend it.
Oh my, this is quite exciting. I am now certain that you are the one I've been waiting for all these years.
This narrator, man.
You'll recall I was a bit coy regarding the use of charms earlier. Excuse me, I tend to have a flair for the dramatic.
Clearly.
You are about to encounter your first turning point.
This is important. That's why it's in bold and in a different color.
There are certain times in this tale when everything hinges on a single word. Step forth, dear reader.
This did not explain what a turning point is or does.
A sturdy old wheelbarrow.
At all. But we will find out.
On the other hand, I suppose there's no reason to rush things. Gran will be waiting when you return.
I didn't mean to go back inside. I'm so sorry, narrator. That was not my intention at all.
Young Luca would spend hours hiding in the bushes, waiting for a chance to jump out and startle his mother. She always enjoyed humoring him by feigning terror.
Aw, what a sweet memory. Spin for victory. Yep, there apparently is a line for that. There you go. The things you learn. What's over here? What's this? What's that?
A beginner's guide to gardening laid open on the bench.
Good to know. If we get too close to Gran, will she immediately pull us in? I don't know. No, apparently we can wander around to our heart's content. Okay. Well, we do have a quest, and our quest is tell Gran before heading out. So, hi Gran. Hey Gran, I'm gonna go hang with Rollo for the day. See you later. Check. Hold up now. Where are you and Rollo headed exactly? Oh, nowhere special.
The less Gran knew, the better for everyone involved.
We were just gonna go blank for the day. Well, this is the turning point, people. This is how it works, because technically, this is a story in a book. And we are just reading it. So, our first choice. Do we ponder? Do we hide? Or do we chill? That's what the charms do. They change the choice when the choices are made in the book. And you know what? We're going to do a poll. We're going to do a poll. We learned how to do polls recently. Let's do a poll. So, ponder, hide, chill. We'll do this for 2 minutes. We'll give this a longer time. So please, in chat, at the top of the chat, you should be able to, any moment now, see the poll. Feel free to throw your vote in. You can use channel points to vote even further, because I know that there's not a lot of people in my chat, and we could get into a stalemate, and you guys can duke it out with channel points if you'd like. And after 2 minutes, I will see what the results are, and we will go from there. We will decide what our day is. Now, if there is a deadlock in the chat, obviously I get the veto vote. I get to decide, but you guys can duke it out with your channel points if you'd like. I would prefer you guys not to argue, and fight in the chat, but like if you're gonna argue, go for it. Yeah, the heart was very cute. I count. The heart was absolutely cute. But yes, I learned how to do polls last week, so we have the feature to poll. I wish we could have used tickle. I think that would be hilarious. If we're just gonna go tickle each other for the day. That would be hilarious. But I think they avoided that for a good reason. All right, the poll is ending up, so get your votes in now, so that when I figure out what's going on, we will see what happens. All right. We have a 50-50 between hide and chill. All right, I guess I get the veto vote. Fine. I suspect that hide is also from the bushes, yeah, count. I think there's like multiple locations for the majority of these charms. It's just whichever one you end up with first. So if you don't explore the house very well, you might get it in the garden. I don't see a heart on any of these charms, but I wasn't really paying that much attention. But it was between hide and chill. I'm gonna go chill, because I think that's going to upset our grandmother less than hide. Personally. You were in this in the beta? You gave this to me after the beta closed, so I don't know. I don't know anything about the beta. But I'm glad that you could give us some insight. I'm sure it was something that lots of people in the beta complained about. So we're gonna go with chill, because that's what I've decided. We are just gonna go chill for the day.
We were just gonna go chill for the day.
And we're back. We were just gonna go chill for the day.
The best lies are built on truth.
You boys are always in a hurry to do nothing. We stick to what we're good at. Well, make sure you're done chilling in time for supper.
Easy.
And that's that.
Impressive. You've managed to navigate your first turning point without too much of a mess.
Yep.
That is the power of charms.
And in this way, we teach people that being charming is useful in social situations.
A single word can change everything.
And in this way, we teach that vocabulary is important.
I think it's time to introduce you to the Chronicle.
Uh-oh. Tutorial time. We have a B. This is what the B button does. It takes us to the book.
The Chronicle is a record of the decisions you've made. You can see the turning point, which has been revealed. At any time, you can use the Chronicle to go back and invoke different charms, creating new branches. Luckily for us, this is the one and only turning point where the charms won't dramatically alter fate. It's the perfect opportunity to experiment with rewriting things.
So, we could go back and change what we did. But this is a game where we make choices, but in the end, we get to make all of the choices. In fact, as Count has stated, we have to make all of the choices. So as much as this is a game of choice, the only choice is to make choices and then go back and make other choices. In that way, it is semi-linear and semi-not. So it's an interesting way of having a choose-your-own-adventure story. Yeah, it's like having time loops, actually, where you get to go back in time and change things. Until you get it right, or until you find out what you're supposed to know, or something. I'm not entirely certain, because I never actually gotten to the end of the story. But it is a fun time. So, if we go back to this turning point, we could decide differently. The other option that was 50-50 in the poll was hide. So let's see what hide gets us.
We were just gonna go hide for the day.
We were just gonna go hide for the day? Hide?
Traditionally, when one is trying to hide something, they avoid literally using the word hide.
Yeah, I guess Rollo bet some other kids that we could beat them at hide and seek. Aren't you a little old for that? It's not like there's much else to do around here. Well, make sure you boys are done playing your little game in time for supper.
All's well that ends well.
And then she, like, waves us on. Now, we could go back to the turning point and once again choose ponder instead and see what that does. Because as the narrator has stated, this is the only turning point in the game that doesn't drastically change anything. So, let's see what happens when we ponder instead.
We were just gonna go ponder for the day.
We were just gonna go ponder for the day. Oh, really? What are you boys going to ponder on such a lovely day exactly?
This was Luca's chance to sell his alibi.
You know, big stuff, small stuff, medium, mostly medium pondering.
Nailed it.
Well, make sure you don't overburden yourself with the preponderance of pondering. Huh? Oh, forget it. Off with you now. It's a good line. And so that's how turning points work. And in the end, through mostly my choice, we leave on pondering rather than anything else. Off